Guys, I think I almost got it. See, I think I realized why this thing hasn't gone viral yet. It's because I haven't been ready. And I could be wrong about this, but I don't think I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong about, well, I'm wrong about stuff all the time. So is Jesus, by the way. So, I think Dad has been purposefully keeping this thing inching along so I could learn the innermost facets of this entire project in pieces, because I couldn't understand it all at the same time. I mean, I understand that, you know, he wants us all to for once work together. I mean, we do have a lot of talent in this world, even the shitty world leaders. I mean, there's a lot of talent here. Imagine what we would do if we stopped focusing on all the reasons that we're better than someone else. You know, they have what we want, they have what we don't want, all that stuff. If we actually worked together toward common goals, you know, to eradicate famine, drought, disease, war, stuff like that, it would be amazing. That's first. But secondly, you know, when I think about this, when you look at the headlines and you see the scandals that come across, you know, it doesn't matter where they originate from, what country, what person, whatever. It's like we all point the finger, we're like, oh, look what so-and-so did, you know, the teacher slept with their student, or the attorney general was hitting the women behind closed doors, you know, stuff like that. So-and-so killed someone. That's just what we know about, right? And we all point the finger, but I'm telling you, all of us are guilty of something. So for us to be saying, well, to have headlines about and to sort of ostracize someone because they did something that was, you know, wrong, when in fact we're all doing wrong and sinful stuff, it doesn't make sense. It's like a big waste of time. And the older the people are, the more sin or the more misdeeds they've conducted. And that means that the youngest people on this planet are those with the least sin, typically. And those are the ones that these older people, these authority figures, are directed. We're directing these young kids' lives. When in fact, we have the most blood on our hands, or the most sin in our backgrounds. It's like the whole system, it's inverted. How can we run a headline about an attorney general? I'm not defending this guy, but what I'm saying is, how can we run a headline about some attorney general who's hitting women behind closed doors? Yet none of us, except for my crew, are willing to go on camera and admit the wrong things that they've done. So it doesn't make sense. How can we say, well, he screwed up, without admitting what we've done wrong? I mean, it sounds so basic. It's incredible, the system that we're living in. This is a man-made system where we idolize celebrities, politicians, royalty, and as soon as they slip up, we point the finger and say, look, they aren't perfect. Well, why can't we point the finger? If that's what really makes headlines, why don't we really cause some headlines? And why don't we point the finger at ourselves one time and front it, rather than getting caught for something? Just come out and say, hey, look, this is the shit I've done. It's protected under the First Amendment. It's a religious belief. And my slate's wiped clean. 90% of us believe in God. God already knows what we've done, so it's not for him, it's for us. He already knows the shit we've pulled off behind closed doors. He knew everything I did. He knew everything that all these other folks who've raptured so far have done. This exercise isn't to prove to God, it's to help us to run a better system. Because the system we have right now, it's fucking broken. I mean, if we look at Israel and Iran, they're firing rockets and having airstrikes back and forth. They're both pointing the finger at each other saying, you this, you that. They're both wrong. Both groups are in the wrong, and I guess de facto both groups are sort of in the right too. But I mean, I have friends that are Persian, and I have friends that are Jewish, and they're all awesome. What the fuck is wrong with you people? It doesn't make sense. There's system A and system B. System A, that's God's system. We'll come back to that. But system B is what we're dealing with now, and it's broken. Authority figures who all have skeletons in their closet are quick to point fingers at each other in order to one-up one another, to gain their spot, to get an extra inch, to win an election, to make more money, to outpace someone in the business world or the religious sphere. We're all trying to play God, and we're shitty gods. Because if we were great gods, well, then we wouldn't have anything to hide, and something like a rapture wouldn't make a big deal. But the fact that it makes people so nervous to admit what they've done wrong shows all the terrible things we're hiding behind closed doors, the things that don't make headlines. That's system B. And then all the people running the world, or even people running local communities, or running local businesses, or small business, they've got skeletons in their closet too. And they're directing the youth of our society. And I mean our global society. This whole system B is fucked. System A is God's system. System A says, hey, look, too much pressure under system B. We're naturally flawed as human beings. It's okay. We fuck things up. We have earthly desires. We don't know any better. We've murdered. We've committed adultery. We've stolen. We've disrespected elders, our parents. We've done all this shit. We've lied. We've cheated. It's okay. It just proves that we're not fucking God. And when I say God, I don't mean any specific God. I just mean that one true God that we all know exists. Call him T-Rex 5000. Maybe this should be called the T-Rex 5000 challenge, because it doesn't matter what you call that God. I don't think he cares as long as you understand there's one of them and he knows and controls everything. And he planned this for 6,000 years to say, at some point, someone's gonna come across who's gonna fit all these characteristics, and all he's gonna do is speak the truth. And that's it. That's the rapture. That's all this fucking thing is. It's simple. A fourth grader could understand it. A first grader can understand it. Timmy, Mohammed, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Okay. Whereas the adults are just doing exactly what they're saying, what they're preaching against. It does not make sense. So I guess the kids are gonna have to pull this thing off for the adults. Kids, the adults need your help, all right? The adults don't know what they're doing. So we need the kids to take up the challenge, send in a video proving that we're all flawed. Then the adults will catch wind of it. The good adults who don't have much to hide, they'll follow suit, and all it's gonna do is leave a bunch of kicking and screaming adult children. The most important people in the world are gonna kick and scream at this, and it's going to be a riot. This globally should be protected. No matter what you've done, you should not have to suffer a consequence, because God wants us to prove our fallibility, that we fuck things up. We are not perfect. It just proves we're not him. This entire society, globally, it needs to go through a cleanse. And that's what the rapture is. And I'm the first guy to stand up and say, you know what? I'm gonna front all the bad shit I've done. And to be honest with you, I couldn't have done it unless I had directly been spanked by God. He almost snapped my mind, guys. He almost snapped my fucking mind. And that put a fear inside of me that I never want that to happen again. So if that means to humiliate myself, to do something totally different, I'm all in. Because at the end of the day, I don't answer to a judge. I don't answer to a politician. I don't answer to a lawyer. I don't answer to a doctor. I don't answer to a celebrity. I don't answer to anyone except the only one. T-Rex 5000. Or Yahweh, or just call him God. It doesn't matter. The universe. that universal force, whatever you want to call it, that's the only thing I answer to. Now, I abide by all laws, and I suggest you do the same. This isn't a free pass to do whatever you want, because we're all under the watchful eye of him right now. But that's it. That's the rapture in a nutshell. So, those with nothing to hide, got nothing to worry about. Of course, every single human being has something to hide. And that's what we're going to find out. That's what we're going to find out, guys. That's the rapture in a nutshell. Thanks, Dad.